You want to leave a mark, not a bruise, not a trace of ownership, but a memory, a gentle imprint, a resonance that lingers in her spirit long after the moment has passed. You want her to remember you, not just the time you shared, but the feeling, the opening, the moment she didn't just feel your presence, but felt herself more fully because you were there. It's easy to confuse intensity with intimacy, but she doesn't want you to be loud. She wants you to be tuned, toned, able to sense the quiet tremors in her that she herself may not yet understand. Because the unforgettable is not loud, it is precise. It lives in nuance, in the pause before you reach for her hand, in the question that never leaves your lips, but is felt all the same. May I? Consent is not merely permission. It is the choreography of mutual longing. It is a dance in which she says yes with her whole being, where her posture softens, her eyes grow luminous, and her voice steadies, not out of obligation, but trust. You are not there to push. You are there to perceive, to listen not only with your ears, but with your attention, your breath, your stillness. Because stillness is not absence. Stillness is presence. Stillness is the refusal to rush through what is sacred. There is a place in every woman where she wants to be witnessed, and a place where she wants to be held. One is not better than the other. They are both true. She wants to surrender, but only when she knows she will not be dropped. And you must hold both. The part of her that longs to be seen in her wildness, and the part of her that has been hurt by those who didn't stay long enough to honor what they had stirred. What will make you unforgettable is not how much she praised you. It's the way she breathes deeper the day after, the way her shoulders relax when she remembers your steadiness, the way she comes home to herself because you reminded she was worth inhabiting. Hold her heart like a cartographer, as if her landscape is undiscovered, because it is. Every woman you meet is not every woman you've known. If you arrive with certainty, you will miss her. If you arrive with curiosity, she will unfold, slowly, perhaps reluctantly, perhaps wildly. But she will show you what no one else has seen, because you stayed long enough to learn the language of her edges. There is no script. There is no secret sequence that unlocks her. The key is not in your performance. It is in your attunement. When you enter her life, do not leave your own, because she will feel it. She will feel when you are there to prove something, to secure validation, to achieve a reaction that soothes your ego. But what if you let go of the outcome? What if the goal wasn't to impress her, but to meet her, to see what emerges when both of you stop trying to be someone and instead become something, together? This is what intimacy truly is, not conquest, but expansion. It's not how skillfully you navigate her story. It's how deeply you're willing to sink into the unknown. And that unknown begins with the question, who are you when you're not trying to be good enough? Can you look at her and not see her as something to win? Can you stand before her like you're listening? Like her trust is not an achievement, but a communion? There is no algorithm for connection. There is only responsiveness. She will teach you everything you need to know if you learn to listen without demanding. Noticing is devotion. Noticing is the real gift. Noticing is what separates the ones who leave a trace from the ones who barely brush the surface. Her heart is not a problem to be solved. Her trust is not a puzzle to be decoded. It is a conversation, one that will change every time you meet her again. Because trust is not static. It is alive, fluid, shifting. She may want to be seen in her strength today, and tomorrow she may want to be held so gently that her heart forgets its old defenses. That means you must remain open, not just to her, but to yourself, to your own fears, to your own longings, to the ways you too crave to be seen without having to perform. Because the people we never forget are the ones who made us feel like we didn't have to try so hard, who didn't ask us to be anything except honest, present, awake. Unforgettable connection isn't about control. It's about surrender, but not the kind we romanticize as losing ourselves. No, Real surrender is conscious. It's choosing to let go because you feel safe, because you trust that the other is still holding you in your most vulnerable moment. And that's the paradox. She will only open when she feels your strength, not the strength of your will, but the steadiness of your presence, the clarity of your intention, the depth of your attention. That is what allows her to exhale, to soften, to trust. There is a kind of strength that has nothing to do with dominance and everything to do with devotion. The kind that quietly says, I am here, not just for this day, not just for this fleeting moment. I am here for whatever unfolds when two people stop performing and start listening with their whole beings. You see, the difference between being pleasant company and being unforgettable doesn't lie in what you do. It lies in how completely you pay attention. Technique without attunement is choreography without music. And she will feel it. The emptiness beneath the gestures, the hollowness behind the words. Presence is not about simply being physically close. It is about being emotionally available, deeply attentive, genuinely attuned. When you are truly present, she feels it, in the way you pause before speaking, the way your eyes don't look past her, but into her, the way you wait without impatience for her to find her words. There is a myth that unforgettable connection requires being loud, forceful, unrestrained. But the truth is, what leaves the deepest imprint is not power over, but presence with. The unforgettable companion isn't the one who tries to take her somewhere. It's the one who meets her exactly where she is and doesn't flinch, even when the terrain shifts, especially then, because presence is not static. Presence is an ongoing negotiation between what she feels and what you notice, between what she signals and what you sense. When she grows quiet, is it because she feels safe in the silence, or because she has disappeared into it? When she draws in a breath, is it because you surprised her, or because she wasn't ready yet? These questions are never answered by assuming. They are answered by paying attention. They're answered by watching, by listening, by waiting. Presence is not about filling the silence. It is about hearing what the silence is saying. And most people cannot hear it. They move too fast, too certain, too eager to arrive somewhere instead of simply being somewhere. When she speaks, she may not always use words. Her gaze may drift when she needs space. Her breath may catch when you touch a memory she thought she had buried. Her voice may soften into a murmur, not out of submission, but out of the quiet recognition that finally someone is paying attention. You do not become unforgettable by overwhelming her. You become unforgettable by attuning to the subtle, the barely there, the whisper of feeling before it becomes a declaration. That whisper is everything. The anticipation before a shared truth. The way your presence hovers, steady, patient, not to push, but to ask. Do you trust me to sit here with you without rushing this moment? Most cannot. Most rush to satisfy, to resolve, to conquer. But satisfaction without suspense is forgettable. You remember the ones who knew how to wait, who made you feel like your heart itself was a place to be explored, not a problem to be solved. Presence is not passive. It is a quiet kind of courage, a willingness to stay, to feel, to witness, to not look away when her voice shakes, to not take over when she hesitates, to not disconnect when she grows quiet and becomes someone you don't fully understand. Because vulnerability transforms us, and the moment you try to contain it, explain it, define it, you have already lost her. She wants to be found, not figured out. She wants to be felt, not fixed. And that is the real work. To sit inside the unknowing, the ambiguity, the storm of another person's truth without demanding clarity. Can you do that? Can you meet her without trying to organize her? Can you receive her as a mystery instead of reducing her to something familiar? This is what makes presence unforgettable. You look at her as if you've never seen her before, even if it's the 1,000th time. You respond not out of habit, but out of wonder. You don't reflexively reassure or correct. You listen with reverence. Every word is new. Every gesture is a revelation. Not because you are doing something novel, but because you are doing it differently, more slowly, more sensitively, more willingly. She wants to feel that you are with her, not merely next to her, that you are moving not just through the motions, but through the moment itself. Presence is a kind of generous devotion. It quietly says, I'm not here just to be understood. I'm here so we can understand this together. I want to feel what you feel. I want to know where your spirit comes alive. I want to dwell in the corners you hide, the edges you retreat from, the softness you forgot you carried. And to be able to do this, you must first be present with yourself. You must know your own rhythms, your own longings, your own needs and fears and shames. Because the ones we forget most easily are the ones disconnected from themselves. They speak without feeling. They reach without intention. They want a response, but cannot hold a reaction. To truly attune to her, you must be attuned to you. You must know the places in you that seek validation, that chase approval, that confuse control with care. You must untangle performance from presence, because they are not the same. You can recite every comforting phrase, every polished gesture, every practiced smile. But if you are not really there, if your mind is elsewhere, she will know. Something inside her will whisper, this is not real. And that moment, that tiny fracture, is the difference between being remembered and being erased. Being unforgettable means being brave enough to be slow. In a world of speed and shortcuts, slowness is not laziness, it is luxury. The way you pause before you speak, the way your attention traces the shape of her story just to feel where it's warm, where it's tender, the way your presence hovers like a question and you're in no hurry to answer. All of this tells her, I am not here to finish you, I am here to feel you. And that is what she will remember. The person who made time irrelevant, the one who did not ask her to hurry up, to open faster, to get to the part where she felt safe. She will remember how you held her when her voice trembled, and not once did you ask for more. She will remember the way you stayed gentle when she broke open. She will remember the way your eyes never left hers, not even when she looked away. That gaze, steady, honest, grounded, is not just reassuring. It is healing. It tells her, I see you. Not just your strengths or your shining moments, but your whole self. I see your awkwardness, your silence, your contradictions. And I still want to be here. That kind of presence does not just comfort, it transforms. Because to be seen in your full unguarded humanity, not judged, not managed, not idealized, is one of the most powerful experiences we can have. This is the kind of presence that makes her trust herself more, that makes her take up more space in her own life, that makes her feel not used but chosen, because you did not rush her, you did not require her to be anything other than real. You showed her that being worthy does not mean performing, that being wanted does not mean being consumed, that being unforgettable is not about how much she impressed you, but about how fully she felt she could just be. And surrender is not something you can demand. It is something you earn through your steadiness, through your curiosity, through your willingness to be surprised by her again and again. When you are present, you stop expecting her to be predictable. You stop assuming what she likes, what she wants, what she will do next. You leave room for change, for flux, for the unknown. And that too is unforgettable. The one who allowed her to evolve in real time. Her trust is not a destination, it is a dialogue. And you are either in it with your whole self, or you are standing outside it, watching, waiting, pretending. There is no middle. Her heart knows, her nervous system knows when you are there and when you have already left the room. And once she feels that gap, she will never fully open again. Because presence is safety, and safety is what makes true freedom possible. So if you want her to remember you, don't try to impress her. Impressing is about ego. It is about doing something to be seen. But when you are truly present, you are not concerned with being seen. You are concerned with seeing. You are more interested in what moves through her than in how you are being perceived. And that shift from looking to seeing, from taking to receiving, changes everything. She will remember the one who made her feel not just good, but real, not just appreciated, but recognized, not just accepted, but welcomed. You met her as she was, in all her texture and truth, and you stayed. You stayed when her voice wavered. You stayed when she grew quiet. You stayed when her face twisted in something she couldn't name. That kind of staying, that kind of presence, is rare. And that is why she will never forget.